Stacey and Jace East Coast Radio.
How's it, everyone? My name is Jethro Westraad. I'm a filmmaker from Durban, and today we're chatting about my latest short documentary, Love Your Neighbour. So I started working on this film back during the COVID pandemic in 2020. I've grown up my entire life at the same address in the Rose Hill, Durban North area. But I had left Durban to live in Cape Town for a while, and then I actually was studying overseas for a year. And I came back during the pandemic and isolated at my parents' house. And when I got back to this area that I've known so long, I was surprised to see an increase in the sort of infamous beware pasop kwapela vicious dog attack signs. And personally, I find them quite funny. It seems that they get more and more bizarre every year. It started off with quite a realistic Doberman or something like that, but now it's gotten to a point where these signs have giant pit bulls with biceps flexing, baring their teeth, saying if anyone steps in this house, you're dead. And I actually think that at the time when I started to see more of these signs, I thought maybe this could be something interesting. This could be great material for a film. So one morning I was filming one of these signs in my street, and the sign actually said, "American Pit Bull, trespassers will be eaten." So I was taking a shot of this sign, and my neighbor, she actually spotted me on her CCTV camera security system, and she shouted at me through the intercom system. She said, like, "What are you doing?" And I got a bit of a fright. And then what ensued was sort of this awkward conversation where I tried to explain what I was doing and that I thought the sign was funny. And yeah, she really didn't see any humor in the situation. So it ended quite abruptly. She sort of just like put the intercom down. But what came out of that was the idea, it sort of like ignited this idea of interviewing my neighbors through the intercom systems. So for me, the intercom is a really unique symbol in the sort of suburban South African context. It's become like a suburban bouncer. It decides who gets in, who gets out. Intercoms these days have cameras built into them, and it's a way now of assessing kind of like if this person that is ringing your doorbell is a threat or not. So I thought that this was a really interesting way to approach like quite difficult themes, or let's just say prickly topics like crime, safety, security, but also in quite an absurd, humorous way. Because instead of seeing, a concerned neighbor, you just see an intercom. It's completely anonymous, and I made sure to film a lot of the intercoms that have some sort of a personality. So there's one that's got like a lot of rocks behind it. Another one is built into like a bush, and pretty much these intercoms almost become like characters in the film. And it allows my neighbors to express a lot of like their concerns, their philosophies, their ideologies through these little mouthpieces. Love Your Neighbour had its world premiere last week at IDFA, which is the biggest documentary film festival in the world, and it takes place in Amsterdam. And at the festival, I was really surprised and I think like really motivated to see so many films from first-time filmmakers, people who have no formal training. The winning film of the entire festival, which is a huge achievement, was shot entirely on a cell phone by a first-time filmmaker. And I think this is really motivating, and I would like to encourage whoever's listening, not just like young up-and-coming filmmakers, but even people that have always wanted to make a film from all age groups, just to pick up their phone or whatever tool they have and to start documenting or recording things that, are urgent.
To listen to these moments and anything else you might have missed, go to ecr.co.za and click on podcasts.